The prayer and promise in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 11, that by his power he, God, may fulfill every good purpose of yours and every act prompted by your faith, is certainly the story of the Lagos mission planting. Inspired by the great numbers of Nigerian brothers and sisters that were being baptized in the London church in 1987, God put in the heart of the London leadership the vision and belief that God can use some of the brothers and sisters of the London church to plant a church of true disciples of Jesus Christ in Lagos, Nigeria. By faith, Doug Arthur, one of the evangelists in London, began to plant seeds of faith in the heart of a young ministry intern, Adetokunbo Tok Soolu, and in the heart of several of the brothers and sisters. Surely enough, the seeds began to take root and grew into a vision that became a reality when the church was planted in May 1989. Prompted by faith and a deep conviction about what God could bring, faith-building devotionals were held regularly for all Africans and Africans at heart in the church, and fundraising events began, such as the Shoe Shine for Africa and the Jump for Africa, which saw brothers like Doug Arthur, James Lloyd, John Pattington, John Louis, Mohan Najunden, and Tokes jump from a moving aeroplane at 200 feet to raise money for the Lagos planting. Interviews were held with disciples who expressed a desire to leave careers and a comfortable life behind in the UK in order to be used by God in Nigeria. As soon as the team was chosen, God began to prepare them through devotionals, inspiring lessons, prayer meetings, and other planned events such as day trips. The team grew in conviction, unity of purpose, and the determination to be used by God in Lagos and beyond. This was the time that brings fond memories. There were belly-aching times of laughter, sobering moments of reflection, as well as challenging talks. Looking back, one marvels at the hand of God and the willingness of the hearts of the 17 disciples that were chosen. The team comprised of 2 English brothers, 1 Scottish sister, 1 brother from Cameroon, 3 Jamaicans, 1 American, and 8 Nigerians. The 2 married couples at the time had only been married for 2 and 3 months respectively. One of the team members, Oyinda Balogun, who eventually got married to Dolapo Ogunigbe, who was raised in a Muslim household and at the time a relatively young Christian, has since gone home to be with the Lord. We will always be grateful for Oyinda's passion for God, her example, and friendship. Most of the brothers and sisters gave up careers and paid their own flight tickets to Nigeria with no promise of jobs where they were going. All the team members considered it an incredible honor and privilege to be of service to the Lord. On 17th May 1989, 6 of the team members arrived in Lagos, 2 weeks before the rest of the team arrived, in order to make adequate preparations. Once the entire team arrived in Lagos, regular devotionals, small Bible discussion group meetings, and church services began. The first official service of the Lagos planting, which was held on the 9th of July 1989 at the YWCA Hall in Obalende, saw over 200 in attendance. It was truly amazing to see the vision become a reality. Within 4 weeks, many men and women were baptized into Christ. Within a few months, new leaders began to rise up, and new Bible discussion groups started in GRA Ikeja, Allen Avenue, Surulere, Lagos Island, and Victoria Island. In the first year, 200 were baptized into Christ. Many of these brothers and sisters later led or are leading groups and churches all over Africa and the world. At first, our mode of worship and some other practices were distinctly British due to the influence of the mission team members. Over the years, we have indigenized much of this. In those days, our Sunday services were held at Federal Palace Hotel, Victoria Island. Our house church was at Oladipupo Street, off Allen Avenue, Ikeja. There, some disciples were taught guard the gospel and others onto maturity classes. Some met their spouses and fell in love at those meetings. The staff then consisted of mainly mission team members and a few new recruits. Around late 1992, the Cretes left Nigeria. Stokes and Bola Showolu and Dolapo and Oyinde Ogundipe took up the leadership of the church. During this time, some of the lovebirds got married, and our church budded with newlyweds. Among them, some of the mission team members and other young converts. The first wedding was between Eugene and Charmaine Ebogiaye. Other early weddings were Ken and Titi Agogobia, Imagbe and Wemi Igbinoba, Shino and Fumi Aileru, Shade and Quadio, Charles and Pat Eliko, Ignatius and Vivian Ebogiaye, Chris and Rolayo Obonaya, and Fred and Titi George. We used to have weddings on Sundays to save the cost of hiring Saturday venues. After church on Sunday, therefore, was very convenient. Stokes and Bola Showolu left Nigeria in December 1993. Onyechi and Daisy Ogwaya replaced them as the church leaders. Under their leadership, the church grew numerically and reached its evangelistic height. By mid-1999, most of our missions were planted, and simultaneously we were ready to learn a whole new bunch of lessons. 1999 has gone down in our history as a year of deep spiritual re-evaluation. Major changes had to be made among the staff, and it is without a doubt a new beginning of maturity and sincerity in our service to the church. We still refer to these as the lessons of 1999. By the end of 1999, Onyechi and Daisy Ogwaya moved to Johannesburg, South Africa, and Richard and Sarah Alawaye moved in to replace them. At this time, the church was characterized with lots of married couples who were in their first decade of marriage and had young kids. The youth and energy of the early years was giving way to the demands of family life and accompanying social pressures. However, under the leadership of the Lawayes, the church matured, stabilized, and continued to grow. The year 2003 was a turning point for our churches worldwide. It was a time of change. As a congregation, we know that these events have left us a better church. It took about 2 years for the storm to blow over. As the Alawayes moved to the United States in 2004, they left Chris and Rolayo Ogbonanya to continue the work of leading the Lagos Church and, by extension, the West African missions. By 2004, it became evident that the Lagos Church needed to have a more deliberate presence in the various regions of the church. As a result, midweek and Sunday services were started in different venues within the respective regions. It has been a joy to see lay leaders with all kinds of talents rise up in every ministry all over the church. These men and women are without a doubt one of God's most precious gifts to this church. It is as a result of this surging sense of responsibility among lay leaders that elders have emerged from the congregation in the last 2 years. It is also a joy to note that our children are growing, and every month we see more of those babes of yesteryear making Jesus the Lord of their lives and walking strong in the Lord. Some are getting married and having children. Before our very eyes, God is moving His Spirit into the next generation. May He remain with us and continue to shower us with His grace now and forever. Amen.